Hello there. Happy Friday night. Hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. It is Friday, November the 17th, 2023, and I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes and share with you my thoughts on this incredibly fine film and wonderful 4K upgrade of Duel. This is the 1971 film from director Steven Spielberg. It says here the tagline is Steven Spielberg's first film, which is a tagline that should intrigue most anyone who's a fan of film, especially if you're a fan of Steven Spielberg. This is a film from 1971. It stars Dennis Weaver. It is the 4K Ultra HD release of this amazing film, which was a TV movie directed by Steven Spielberg at the ripe young age of 24 years old. He was 24 when he directed this TV movie, and what an incredible featured film debut for this director. This is an upgrade over the old Blu-ray that came out, I think, maybe a decade ago. I don't even know the exact year, but this was the original Blu-ray edition that came out several years ago. I'll go ahead and crack this open. You see all the wonderful items included on the inside. I mean, just an absolute packed edition. So yeah, very plain, simple Blu-ray edition, from several years ago, and now we get this nice 4K edition. So really excited to talk about this amazing film and amazing 4K release that has just come out of Duel. So hope you are all doing well tonight. There's a lot going on in the world of physical media and entertainment. I plan to be on here for just a few minutes and share my thoughts on Duel, but I want to talk about a couple of other things real quick in terms of the Criterion Collection sale. Hope that the sale is treating you well. The Barnes & Noble 50% off sale that at Barnes & Noble stores and barnesandnoble.com for those of you who are able to take advantage of the sale here in the United States. And for those of you around the world, if you're able to take advantage of other outlets that are offering sales on Criterion titles, let me know in the comment section what titles are you most excited about that you have had a chance to pick up this month, and what titles are you looking forward to picking up in the remainder of this sale for this month. Of course, Mean Streets on 4K is coming out. We get 3 of those Janus contemporary films coming out on Tuesday, as well as La Cérémonie. So I believe it's 5 titles from the Criterion Collection, including 2 Criterion Collection titled labels, as well as 3 titles from their Janus Contemporaries line coming out on this Tuesday, November the 21st. So I'm looking forward to getting Mean Streets on 4K, La Cérémonie, and probably Godland from that Janus Contemporaries title or label. So really excited about that. Also excited about my cup of spearmint tea here. Bigelow perfectly mint. And it is perfectly delicious. With a little bit of half and half and a little bit of sugar just makes it absolutely perfect. But yeah, I'm excited about the titles that I've had a chance to pick up in the sale so far, including these 3 titles here. And I did a poll on my community tab asking this audience, which of these should I watch this weekend? Of course, my Georgia Bulldogs, my number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs, are taking on the Tennessee Volunteers in a college football clash on the road up at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee. So we're planning to go up there. I'm not going up there, but the Bulldogs are up there, and they're ready to take care of business up there in Knoxville tomorrow afternoon and come back home and take on Georgia Tech on next Saturday. But I asked on my community tab, which one of these, in addition to watching the college football game, which one of these Criterion titles should I also be watching this weekend? Whether it's Dim Sum, the film from Wayne Wong, Dry Long So, the film from Colleen Smith, or the first film in this Jackie Chan set, Jackie Chan Emergence of a Superstar, Half a Loaf of Kung Fu. So I put that out on my community tab. If you guys have a thought, let me know in the comment section in the few minutes that I will be on here. And of course, I've got to get around to these new 4K titles that have come out. I've already seen Fargo, but I can't wait to see it on 4K. I have not seen American Graffiti, but I'm looking forward to seeing it on 4K. So excited about that. I also got to catch La Bamba at some point. Watch this title. Heard great things about it. And it being Noirvember. I did a Noirvember stream last weekend where I talked about Blood Simple and Sweet Smell of Success. Those Criterion titles, both highly, highly recommended. So definitely pick those up in the sale. But in keeping with Noirvember, I definitely want to finally get around to watching my copy of this film, The Lost Weekend. Of course, we don't want this to be a lost weekend, but I plan to watch The Lost Weekend, if not this weekend, sometime in Noirvember. Let me know what you think about this film from Billy Wilder. I already know it's amazing. It's from Billy Wilder. It is the Academy Award winner for Best Picture from 1945. So I'm expecting absolutely great things from this movie. So yeah, thought I'd share that. But let's get into it. Let's go ahead and get into these comments, and then let's talk about Duel on 4K. So let's see who all is out there this evening. Let's see. We have Adrian James. Hello there to you, Adrian, from across the pond. It must be super early in the morning for you. What is it? 3 o'clock in the morning. Thank you for joining, sir. Hope you're doing well out there across the pond. Let's see. We have Cletus Van Dam. Hey. Got my Duel Steelbook. Yeah, that Groove Steelbook looks really cool. Obviously, I got the slipcase. Haven't watched the new disc yet. Pre-ordered last summer for less than $20. A very solid film. Amazing film for sure. Let's see. Whoa, Tip and Connie. I remember the sound team mixed in predatory animals into the truck sounds to make it threatening. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That is part of what they did with this film. So good. AJ Roberts, hello to you, AJ. Hope to someday get the Pasolini set. That Pasolini set is very impressive. I am just in the beginning stages of going through it, but I am very happy with the purchase, and I think it's just a knockout set. Godland is an amazing film. Yes, glad to hear that. I am planning on getting it on this Tuesday, along with Mean Streets 4K and the La Ceremonie Blu-ray, the Claude Chabrol film. So I'm looking forward to picking up all of that this Tuesday, November the 21st, Lord willing, this week of Thanksgiving. Can y'all believe it's almost Thanksgiving? I mean, I'm excited about going into the weekend. Excited about my Georgia Bulldogs. Excited to watch one of these three Criterion titles based upon the results of the community poll that I put out on my YouTube community tab. And just looking forward to Thanksgiving. And it's just a time to really just take, inventory of there's so much in life to be thankful for. And, even though there are challenges in life, I'm going through some challenges right now with a member of my family with some health challenges. And it's challenging, but there's also a lot to be thankful for. And, it's something that, I think about not only on Thanksgiving, but I try to think about always that there's always something to be thankful for. So I'm excited that Thanksgiving is almost here. Ethan says Spielberg directed an episode of Columbo the same year as Duel. Is considered the best episode of the series. Oh, cool. Not surprising if Steven Spielberg directed it. I mean, and we'll talk about this film here in a second, but Spielberg also directed a sci-fi post-apocalyptic film that had an unusual downer ending. Yeah, Steven Spielberg, I have not done a taste director series for Steven Spielberg. He is an absolutely extraordinary director, and although I wouldn't count him as one of my personal favorite directors, he is an amazing filmmaker, and I absolutely think that every film that I've seen of his is incredible. So he's an amazing filmmaker. His first TV feature, yes, I'm in Ohio, AJ. Hello, AJ. Are you an Ohio State Buckeyes fan? Are you pulling for the Buckeyes? Are you guys gonna go into Ann Arbor, Michigan, and give the Michigan Wolverines the business? Let me know your sports affiliation there. Hoping to get Duel for Christmas this year. Awesome. So yeah. So let's talk about this amazing film and this amazing release on 4K Ultra HD. So let's take a few minutes here and just talk about this amazing film. So let me share my screen, and we're going to go to the IMDb listing for this film. And you see here, this is, when you go to the IMDb listing, you'll see Duel, you'll see Dennis Weaver here, and the truck, a guide to the films of Steven Spielberg. Basically, what is Duel about? Duel is a TV movie from 1971, directed by Steven Spielberg. It's his first feature film, directed film. And it is the premise of this film is very simple, but is so perfect and powerful. Dennis Weaver plays this man here. His character's name in the film is David Mann, and he is a some type of a business person. He's got an appointment set up. He's in California. He's got a road trip. He's in his car, and he's on his way to an appointment for business purposes. So he's making his way down the highway, and he runs into this not literally runs into this truck, but he encounters this truck on the highway, and this truck ends up basically being driven by this menacing driver who basically ends up ends up chasing Dennis Weaver's character and terrorizing him on the road. This terrorizing truck with this mysterious driver ends up chasing him down and terrorizing him on the road, endangering him on the road. And it's a wonderful cat and mouse thriller of a film with Dennis Weaver in his car, just not being in this incredibly paranoid situation. Is just an incredible thriller with a lot of suspense, very tightly paced, and an absolutely thriller ride of a film. This is the film that is such an incredible debut by Steven Spielberg because it really gives you a glimpse into the brilliance of this director and how he paced this movie, how he built the tension and the suspense in this film, how he brilliantly decided not to ever show us the face and identify the actual driver, which lent to the mystery of this film. You don't ever really get to see who this is behind the wheel. You see the hand at a certain point, you get slight glimpses, but you don't ever get to look into the eyes and look into the face of the person who is driving this truck. So that adds a lot of mystery to this film, a lot of dread, a lot of paranoia. That unknown factor really lends itself to the mystery, the suspense, the tension behind this film. And it is absolutely well paced, brilliantly constructed, and brilliantly acted by Dennis Weaver. I think, you really feel the tension that he's feeling as a character, the stress that this situation is putting upon him as he's on the road trying to get to his destination, being totally stressed out by this maniac of a truck driver on the road. It is just a great road trip type movie, thriller movie, action, suspense, beautifully paced, and it is almost perfect, in its construction. This is from 1971. It is an hour, 30 minutes. It is absolutely perfect from a time standpoint. It doesn't hold you that long. It's that beautiful 90-minute runtime that I absolutely love. But you have Dennis Weaver playing David Mann. You have his wife, Jacqueline Scott, is Mrs. Mann. There's like one scene where you actually see his wife back home with her and his kids, and that's nice. You hear her voice in the film as well. And then you have a cafe owner played by Eddie Firestone. You have Lou Frizzle, who plays a bus driver. He encounters this bus of he being Dennis Weaver's character. David Mann encounters a bus driver and a bus of kids along the way in this journey. And you have, just a nice supporting cast. The waitress at the cafe, you have the gas station attendant, and the man in the cafe. So I think Steven Spielberg did a really nice job with the supporting cast, really adding character to the film. And there's certain areas where you are wondering, okay, is this the truck driver? Dennis Weaver's trying to identify in one of the settings, could one of these people be the truck driver? And he does a beautiful job in that scene. He being Steven Spielberg does a beautiful job in that scene of leading the audience along the way to wonder, okay, am I seeing the truck? Am I seeing the truck driver right now? This guy looking back at Dennis Weaver's character. Is he the one? Is he the one? Is he the one? Just absolutely brilliantly constructed. Just an absolutely amazing film. So Steven Spielberg, he made this film. This was his first feature debut, and he did it with a limited budget, and he showed what he can do with a limited budget and a tight schedule. And he was very resourcefulness in the way that he directed this film and just built the intensity. And he just had creative ways in tackling different production challenges along the way, like shooting with the manual crew or minimal crew, and using a car mounted camera for dynamic chase scenes. So this was Steven Spielberg using a lot of inventive techniques. He was a young filmmaker at the time, age of 24, and tackling this film, and he did an absolutely amazing job. And this is one of my favorite films from Steven Spielberg. I think my favorite film of his is definitely The Color Purple from 1985, starring Whoopi Goldberg, Danny Glover. That is my favorite film from Steven Spielberg. Of course, if you ask a lot of people, they will tell you like films like Saving Private Ryan or Schindler's List, both of which are perfectly fine choices and amazing films. But for me, my personal favorite film from Steven Spielberg is The Color Purple. And then that will be followed up by this film right here, Duel. So I absolutely love this film. So, he had a keen sense of suspense and pacing in this film. The whole relentless pursuit of a lone driver by this mysterious and menacing, tanker truck just keeps the audience on the edge of your seat the entire time. And that's what you love about this film. You're never bored in this film. It keeps you engaged from the beginning to the end. You're wanting to see how is this going to turn out between this lone driver on the road and this menacing, dangerous truck driver. So absolutely incredible. Spielberg was inspired by Hitchcock in making this film. So this film has a Hitchcockian element to it, and it is executed brilliantly in terms of the suspense. Alfred Hitchcock is the master of suspense, and Steven Spielberg employed that whole element of suspense in the way that he approached the making of this film and presenting this story, and it's absolutely stunning. So a little known fact about Duel, of course, the truck itself was an iconic character. The whole truck, as it is presented, you see the truck, but you don't see the actual truck driver, and so the truck becomes a bit of an iconic character. And the actual sound of the horn, they actually incorporated animal sounds in the sound of the horn, and that sort of lends to the effect of the film as well. So overall, just an absolutely stunning, if I can see it, absolutely stunning piece of work from Steven Spielberg that I highly recommend. So I will stop sharing this screen here of Duel and come back out here, and we'll look at some comments, and then I'll talk a little bit about the picture quality, the audio quality, and the special features, and whether or not I would recommend this title. You've probably picked up by now kind of the direction that I'm going to go from a recommendation standpoint. Let's see. AJ, yeah, I am. Go Bucks. The Ohio State Buckeyes. I tell you what, that game, the game, Ohio State and Michigan, Ohio State going on the road to play Michigan this year, that is going to be must-see TV. That is going to be absolute must-see TV. The winner is going to have the inside track to the college football playoffs, so looking forward to that. I'm also an Ohio Go Buckeyes. Yeah, Ethan, all right. There's some Ohio State Buckeye love. So what would you say is a good double feature with Duel? Wow, a good double feature with Duel. Ooh, that's a good question. That is a good question. I will have to come back on that. But Duel, uh-oh. Ooh, okay. That was my Sorry about that. That was my dog. I think he's fine, but I'll have to let him out when I get off of this stream here. See, what would you say is a good double feature with Duel? Yeah, I'll have to think about that and come back. But for those of you who are on the stream, let me know in the comments what you think about that. And actually, with that, let me take a quick pause and come right back and check on Shiloh real quick. Hold on, I'll be right back. Shiloh, you okay, buddy? You okay, buddy? Okay. All right. Just checking on you. I'm gonna let you out in a few minutes. Yeah, he just wanted to make his voice heard in the stream here. Ethan, I live in Southern Ohio. Okay. If there had to be a Steven Spielberg film in the Criterion 4K collection, what do you think it should be? If there has to be a Spielberg film in the Criterion 4K collection, I would absolutely love to see The Color Purple in the Criterion collection. I think that would be a brilliant addition to the collection. I don't know if that would ever, be able to happen, but I would love to see that get into the collection. Perhaps dual probably. Well, I mean that would be another selection that I would say would be terrific. Those are my two favorite of his films, but I would love to see those. Schindler's List is also one that I think would be worthy of consideration for the Criterion Collection. See, Jaws would be good as a double feature with Duel. Yes. See, thank you for answering my question. I'm answering that question there. So yeah. So that does sound like a good answer to Tipicani's question. Jaws. Jaws sounds great. All right, so we've talked about the film. The film is a banger. I mean, the film is absolutely terrific. Highly recommended. Even if you don't get the 4K, if you just get the Blu-ray on a super great sale, or if you happen to see this on a stream somewhere, just watch the movie, whether you buy this physical media release or not. Just at least watch this movie and experience it at least one time. It is an absolutely stunning film and an amazingly impressive debut by Steven Spielberg. But in terms of, okay, I have this movie on Blu-ray, on this Blu-ray, and I have it on this 4K. What do I think about the 4K picture? Well, in a nutshell, the 4K picture of Duel looks absolutely wonderful. It is a beautiful restoration of this early 1970s film, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Of course, this is I think it's a new 4K restoration. You get Dolby Vision grade, and it looks really nice. Now, when you compare this to the Blu-ray, this Blu-ray presentation, this old Blu-ray is actually a very fine presentation of this film. It looks very nice, a pretty good detail. The colors, come through very nicely. Some nice definition and good strong resolution on this Blu-ray. And so this is a very good Blu-ray to begin with. And so I would say that, although this 4K does look very nice and is a step up in quality over that Blu-ray, that Blu-ray holds its own pretty well compared to this 4K. This 4K is an upgrade, but it's not an absolutely mind-blowing upgrade over the Blu-ray, but it is an upgrade. You do get the uptick in the resolution, so you get a little bit more detail. That grain is resolved a little bit more finely. You get a little bit more in the colors with that HDR. Given the HDR, the Dolby Vision, it does make the picture a little bit darker, but it definitely is a slightly more refined and confident image on 4K Ultra HD. It's an absolutely beautiful picture. I love movies like this that are like road trip movies where you get to see all these beautiful landscapes and you're going from place to place, stop to stop, this gas station, this cafe. I love movies about the open road in America, like Thelma and Louise, where you see that wonderful southwestern landscape on 4K. I love beautiful 4K restorations of films like this because you really get to appreciate that wonderful landscape. And you get that with this film. So it is not, absolutely as tax sharp as Thelma and Louise is. This is a film from 1971 versus Thelma and Louise being from the 90s. So, it's a couple of decades older than that film. So although this restoration is very nice, it looks very much like a film from the early 1970s, but it's beautifully restored and it looks really nice in this 4K. The car that Dennis Weaver is driving, you really can appreciate the beautiful color of the car. You get a lot of detail on the menacing truck, and you get some nice detail in the landscapes, detail in the face of Dennis Weaver, which you get a lot of close-ups of that, as well as the close-ups of a lot of the characters in different scenes. So overall, it's a very nice 4K image that holds up very well. And I think in comparison to the old Blu-ray, it is a nice step up in quality. The other area that you're going to get a nice upgrade over the old Blu-ray is in the audio, because you get a Dolby Atmos track, which is a very nice addition that you're getting in this release versus the Blu-ray release. Now, the old Blu-ray release had a 5.1 track. Of course, on my system, this is a Dolby Atmos track. I don't have an Atmos setup, so it plays as a 7.1 surround track, Dolby True HD, and it sounds wonderful. So you get some nice sound effects with that truck and some of the other sounds in the soundscape, and it sounds perfectly fine in a nice surround setup. And I can imagine that a nice Dolby Atmos setup would take full advantage of the audio track on this disc. So you do get a bit of an audio upgrade with Dolby Atmos. Now, in terms of the special features, that is where, this release essentially is an upgrade in the picture quality with the 4K, and you get that Dolby Atmos track. As far as the special features, you're basically getting the same features that appeared on this old Blu-ray. So you're getting all those archival features that were on this Blu-ray release are brought over to this 4K release, and I don't believe there is anything new in this. Now, this does include the original TV movie version of Duel in 1.331 aspect ratio. I think that might be the only addition. Yeah, I think that is the only addition in this 4K edition versus the old Blu-ray, is that they include the original TV movie version of Duel in that 1.33 to 1 aspect ratio, the way it would look on a TV, like that 4 to 3 aspect ratio. Other than that, you get the same conversation with Steven Spielberg. You get the Steven Spielberg in the small screen, Richard Matheson, the writing of Duel, and photograph and poster gallery. All those appeared on this prior Blu-ray version. So you do get the addition of that TV movie version of Duel. So overall, this comes highly recommended if you're a fan of Steven Spielberg. If you like action, thriller, suspense type movies, this is highly recommended. I think you will absolutely love this film. Dennis Weaver's terrific in it. This is perfectly paced, beautiful action, beautiful suspense, and it looks great on this 4K. You get some nice audio with that Dolby Atmos track, and you get a pretty nice list of special features. It's not packed with features, but I think the inclusion of that TV version of this film is a great add. So you do see some of the differences in terms of the opening, of the film. It's a slightly different opening in terms of where the TV version begins versus where the feature version begins. So, and some of the titles look a little bit different, but yeah, it's a really nice overall edition that I highly, highly recommend. But let me know in the comments section what you think about this incredible movie. Now, let me see if we have any other thoughts here. We have Ethan saying, I thought about Jaws as well. They Drive by Night and Wages of Fear. Oh, Wages of Fear, the Henri Georges Clouzot film. Yes, the same director who gave us Diabolique. Great film. They Drive by Night really needs a Blu-ray release. I am not familiar with They Drive by Night. Who directed that film? But yeah, those are my thoughts on Duel 4K. Again, I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes and share my thoughts on this title. Normally, I would record this type of a thing, of a review, and do the editing thing and put it out. But time just did not permit this week, so definitely hope that you can appreciate this slightly different format where I just pop on here and just talk with the community a little bit. Oh, okay. That answered my question. Raoul Walsh directed They Drive by Night. Raoul Walsh, of course, getting a 4K edition from Criterion that is coming out here pretty soon, called The Roaring Twenties. So very much looking forward to that, coming in February. Those pre-orders are now available online. I put on my community tab some Amazon links, and if you use those Amazon links, it is no additional cost to you, and it helps the channel. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts on Duel on 4K. Definitely recommended. Definitely pick up this title if you have a chance. If you're into action suspense movies and Steven Spielberg, think you'll enjoy that title. But hope you all enjoyed this review. Hope you all have a great rest of your Friday night, wherever you are in the world. And, it could be already Saturday morning, wherever you are in the world. But Hope you have a terrific weekend and hope you enjoy whatever you watch and whatever you get into. Hope you enjoy the Barnes and Noble sale. If you're getting out to the stores this weekend, whatever you're planning on doing, let us know in the comments section what you're planning to do. So Ethan's saying with George Raft and Humphrey Bogart, cool. Interesting. Raoul Walsh directed Humphrey Bogart in a number of films. High Sierra, The Roaring Twenties. I guess here with this film as well, They Drive by Night. So interesting. Great film about truck drivers. Okay, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, maybe some of you will check out They Drive by Night this weekend. But whatever you get into this weekend, hope you enjoy it. Stay safe out there. Hope you have a fantastic weekend and hope you have a great week ahead and Thanksgiving. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you next time at the movies. Peace. God bless.